Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, another wondrous Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, a 2 vs 2 on Semois. Yes, indeed, you can, in fact, have 2 vs 2s on Semois. We shall be watching Admiral Biatch and Yar fighting for the Soviet Union for the Guards Rifle, 20th Rifle Corps, going up here against Sharkattack and Wespa, fighting for the Germans in the 23rd Panzer Division on Semois. Doctrines are Festung armor, Jäger armor, and assault support. So a bit of an emphasis here on armor for Sharkattack. Whoops, clicked the wrong button there. For Wespa, we're seeing Lightning War, Spearhead, and Jäger armor as well. For the Admiral, we're seeing Shock Motor, Guard Rifle, and Guard Motor, and for Yar, more or less the same except with Shock Rifle front line. So back to Sharkattack. So it's already taking a nice chunk of the map. No, not rushing towards the fuel point, interestingly enough, although looks like taking up position here in the house first. To check if there are any fascists nearby. Pioneers on their hand seem to be rushing towards this fuel point, or perhaps they have other things in mind, who knows. Lots of conscripts pouring out of the Soviet base, whereas we do see the infantry company going up. Grenadiers, MG42 here on the way for Sharkattack, and looks like more or less the same thing here for Wespa. And there you go, fuel points being secured. Both sides going for the fuel point that is the farthest away from them, by the way, and the one that's going to be more difficult to hold, interestingly enough. Pioneers here, though, swiftly getting overwhelmed by Soviet numbers. MG42 is rolling up, it might be a bit late, and of course the flanks already here going to be a bit in a hazardous position as combat engineers are moving in. And there we go, flanking the MG42 crew. No nearby infantry. The Grenadiers a bit far away. So the situation is a bit bad here initially for the Germans. Or at least Sharkattack, since Wespa is moving in the other direction. Sneaking in some Pioneers, MG42 covering the fuel point. MG42 pulling back here, but getting flanked by conscripts. Soviet players, of course, know what's going on. Going to hit that position from as many angles with conscripts as possible to make it difficult for the MG42 to call one spot. And there we go. Too little, too late. Again, not really that well thought out there by Sharkattack. The MG42 is going to be forced to retreat. Grenadiers holding on. They are doing quite nice work here with the conscripts. And we are seeing more Grenadiers arriving, but ultimately not quite working out due to the MG42 being forced away. Grenadiers scored down to half health. And there we go. Heinrich went down. Another Grenadier squad here following up for Sharkattack. Fighting spraying out across the map. And more infantry pouring towards this very spot. But so far the Germans are a bit thinly spread. Having a bit of a hard time holding all of this. And then we got another Grenadier squad appears for Sharkattack. The Grenadiers are continuing to fight. Conscript squad here very low in health, but the Grenadiers are simply going to get overwhelmed unless Sharkattack can quickly move up some reinforcements soon enough. So far enjoying map dominance, controlling most of the victory points, if not all of them in fact. Although we do see a bit of harassment going on here in return from Wespa, in fact taking away the fuel point away from the Soviets. Special Rifle Command up. Troops hiding in houses left and right. MG42s, Mosin Nagants, and what not. And there we go, 2 MG42 fortified houses in the church, the centre of the town or village. Minor action here on the flank, cutting off the munitions from the Soviets. Could try and push up here with the MG42 supporting the Grenadiers, taking these resources away and taking them for the fatherland instead. That would be a good move. And a lighter machine gun giving out for Sharkattack. Popping out to Wespa. With 2 Grenadiers, 2 MG42s and a mortar, a Granatenwerfer. Das ist gut. MG42 slowly making their way through the center of the village. Snipers setting up for a flank. A far flank, in fact. Conscripts suffering though in town and in the cemetery. Molotovs popping in there. Really nice. Lots of action going on left and right. Grenadiers though there seems a bit unsure what they want to do.
Fucking Rus bastards are attacking!
There we go, MG42 out of the hut, but oh dear, last man got shot in the gut. Didn't really work out for him. MG42 sending up support, conscripts rushing in, looks like it's going to be a race for the MG42. And looks like they will be trying to recruit what's straight from the MG42 and the Grenadiers. In fact, looks like he lost courage and retreated. Grenadiers lost a man, and there we go, recruiting the MG42, but ultimately losing Wespa, a Grenadier squad. Less than good, less than good. More setting up support here. Grenadiers continue to fight. Conscripts retreating. Conscript squad here remaining. If the Germans can quickly push out, they could take some territory away. Would then be a nice idea to put some set up a machine gun and bunker to cover this area. Just suggesting. Serbs continue to apply pressure in the west. Combat engineers inside the house, or storehouse, need to get the bloody hell out of there before the Grenadiers finish off the last poor bastard. But progress is being made. Bunker up, like the medic bunker, yes indeed. And a scout car arriving for Wespa, a leichte mechanized company bereit here for the 23rd Panzer Division. Mortar setting up.
We have a new scout car.
And the appearance of the first 100mm mortar of the fight. A rather popular mortar amongst those fighting on the Eastern Front. Yes, that's the Soviets, but of course the Germans in fact used it quite a lot. In fact, they pretty much straight out adopted it, so did the Hungarians and so did the Romanians. Little fun fact there. It's a quite a fun little weapon there. Scout car rolling ahead, needs to be careful, taking quite a bit of fire from nearby infantry units, obviously trying to see if we can hunt down the sniper, at least cut off a retreat path perhaps.
Grenadiers ready.
Slow progress being made here on the right flank. And Yar getting a mortar of his own, thus signifying he's gone for the support weapon, Campania. Germans being held back here nicely. Russians making good use of the houses. And of course now getting mortars to make it harder for the Germans to then sort of park up in front of the houses. I think that MG42 on the other hand went a bit too far ahead. And the response is quick. A Molotov through the window. Not really what I would describe as a brilliant idea. Grenadiers flanking in, mortar fires away though. But at the same time it is getting mortared by the Soviets. Scout car quickly following up support. Holding out in the ditch, though they are reasonably safe. MG42 setting up as well now. And quick retreating. Mortar here needs to remove, locate. Otherwise it's going to get knocked out, I fear. The cartridge in front of the mortar crew has already been pretty much turned into ruins. So they really should consider relocating before it's too late. There go MG4 setting up, but conscripts are making close up enough. And there we go, looks like a Molotov being locked over. And the MG crew is burning to death. In this case, Wespa did spread out his troops too far and he did not have enough infantry to protect it. So a bit of bad case there of unit preservation, I fear. But Panzer Grenadiers on the spot, and this conscript squad could go down to the scout car. But no! Made it! They got off the anti-tank grenade. The Panzer Grenadiers might get it, but nonetheless they were... Oh! There we go, one squad of conscripts down, the other also close to getting wiped out. That's certainly a bit extreme. Mortars though continue to fire away. Pioneers moving up. And quickly hitting the mortar there, forcing it away. Support armor corps is up for Sharkattack. Points are being secured. Pioneer squad needs, or MD crew there needs to pull away. And looks like the Germans are finally able to push back the turrets towards the base. Took them quite some time. Mechanized armor company out for Yar. And an attempt here by mining for Yar. Good, good. Unless you're the Germans, in which case it's pretty bad. And rushing straight into the base MG. Heavy mortar though is forced back for the time being, but obviously with the 2 range is not going to last long. And the Admiral with the guards, infantry squad with light machine guns already setting up here in the corner hut. Also you might want to consider recruiting. And we are in fact now seeing Spearhead doctrine up for Wespa. Spearhead. And the first Panzerkampfwagenführer rolls out here for Sharkattack. Whoops, keep pressing that one, not really supposed to do that. Popping over to the Admiral with guards motor. Panzer IV swiftly rolling up. And we're actually seeing a penal battalion up here for the Admiral. Good, good. Panzer IV though rolls up, less good. And looks like Wespa went for a mortar half-track. A Granatenwerferwagen. Also mining down the road. Good, yeah, good. You're actually consistent with mining. Good, good. And on Semois even better. Germans have made some progress into the village. Also noting here that Yar has gone for either conscript support. No, he's guards rifles since we know he has not conscript support. Mortar half-track close to the front line. Points being secure. Whatever the Panzerkampfwagen here do. Fighting down south, MG42s need to be a bit careful here. In this case, it gets too close to the conscript with the submachine guns. And that's likely going to result in a Molotov to the face. No great surprises. Incendiary round going down here, burning conscripts away. Even the guards inside the building need to be careful. Otherwise, they might find that the roof is on fire. At least it's currently smoking. And there we go. In fact, the entire building lights up. Now it's just not the roof that's on fire, it's in fact the entire bloody place. There is no need for water, it's already too late.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Panzer IV rolling ahead, good, good. With a bit of infantry support they can make some good headway here against the Soviets. Also making good progress there. A huge turnaround here from the Germans. From das Reich. Pushing up here. Still no real attempt at securing this point. They might want to do that. Get away that third victory point. And also get up something more to support this Panzer IV. Get up the mortar half-track. Get up some pack. Get up some infantry. Keep applying pressure. I mean, the enemy's going to be frightfully clumped up around here and trying to make a good spot for some mortaring. And this Grenadier squad needs to retreat. Rückzug, Rückzug. And that was a bit silly. Panzer IV a bit of trouble, and we're noting both have mechanized armor companies up. And Mark vehicle up on the Panzer IV. Good job, good job. Actually like to see that ability used again. It is very powerful. Mortar half-track finally moving up. Infantry nearby, but not quite supporting. At the same time as this is going on, though, Admiral is launching a flanking assault up here, breaking up the other front as most of the German armies are there. That's a good move, that's a good move. Don't bash your head against the wall, always seek up other approaches as well. Incendiary round set up to cover the retreat right here. It looks like a lot of Soviet infantrymen are dying. In fact, it looks like the guard squad is caught in the inferno and is currently in the process of burning up. So nice work there. Panzer shakes up, clearly worried about armor. Continuing to make good progress up here. Although running into some slightly nasty pressure here from the Grenadiers with their light machine guns. And the Admiral might find himself with more losses than he anticipated. And getting his first Su-85. Also looks like they finally might be making a move towards this right-hand victory point and munitions. Also now would be a good time for the Germans to begin mining. Mine the roads, mine the approaches, just make it harder for the Soviets to advance. And certainly this should have been mined, but apparently it wasn't. Again, mines do make a difference. And clearly the Soviet players know that, since they're actually the ones mining at the moment. And a fresh breakthrough assault here from Yar. Conscripts equipped with the PPSH 41s moving forwards.
Red Army at your service.
And popping over here to Yar. That's indeed going for guards rifles. 4 squads of conscripts, all equipped with a handy dandy PPSH 41. Launching a bit of a wave assault here. Needs to be careful he doesn't get hit by a good hit from the mortar, get caught in the MG or an incendiary round. Panzer IV pull back. And there we go. First squad straight into the fire and getting suppressed. And there we go, incendiary round quick to follow up. Panzer Grenadiers flanking up there, but a nice hit from the Panzer IV wipes out most of the squad, and looks like he's actually having the Panzer IV go hold down. He's actually fortifying it while he's repairing it. That's actually quite an interesting move. And I do believe it gains some benefits while it is hold down. Accuracy and I believe also rate of fire. So nice work there. Sharkattack. At the same time though, Yar continues the assault on the other front. Pushing up with an H-85 now supporting the entire infantry advance. Penal troops also continue to deliver the pain. Packs heading up. And another H-85 now has arrived from Yar. But rare you actually see hull down used. It's actually interesting when you see it. Although in this scenario, I mean, the S-35 can hit it from farther away, although it does take less damage as well. But in this sort of scenario, when you consider the structure of the village, Stu would actually have been better to have hull down, I think. But there you go, popping smoke and pulling back. Well done, good use of the doctrine, good use of abilities. Panzer Grenadiers are too close and they're too low on health. Oh, what a shame. But managed to save the Panzerkampfangwehr. Another one rolls out here for Sharkattack, also noting the base. Wespa has gone for the heavy Panzer coH2 to continue to pressure up here. Conscript snipers, what not. H-35 might want to move a bit closer. Panzer IV doing what it can. And we might see another conscript squad go down here for the Admiral. Incendiary round catches the poor bastard, lighting on fire. Penal troops also rushing straight into the fire. Not good, not good. Mortar half-track continues its reign of terror. Panzer IV also holding things up a bit here, but being slowly pushed out of the village once more.
Assault gun ready for that.
And having a bit of trouble holding the flanks again. They should consider mining this, or laying down a machine gun bunker.
Units awaiting orders.
And Wespa, having gotten himself a Panzerkampfwagen 5,
Contact with the enemy.
decides to get a bit serious. And there's an H-85, he should move it ahead. I mean, this Panther is faster than the H-85 and does have a nice range, so if he can, as soon as he can flank, that's going to be good. We do see marked vehicle up, but need to keep moving, keep flanking. Don't take too far paths and actually allow the H-85 to get time to, you know, target towards you. And sniper down there for the Admiral. Good job. Sharkattack, but keep moving. Oh dear, you're allowing the H-85 to escape, which I think is a bit of a sad moment. But better than nothing, I suppose. Katyusha arriving. And Howards available. Actually looks like the Yar is floating a bit of manpower there. Panzer IV advancing up here. Not really good idea. Sharkattack, not good idea. You're seeing that Panzer IV alone like that. But again, smoke, and blitzkrieg. Lovely, lovely. Although he could have tried to flank. But then again, he probably would have benefited with both Panzer IVs then. A bit in the case here where this German player actually diffuses the power they have, in particular the one with the Panzer IVs. He should have been operating them together. So a bit of a shame there, a bit of a shame, and a bit of a missed opportunity to really do it. And we're actually seeing this Soviet players are now bunching up here, abandoning the west flank for now, focusing up their firepower since they've suffered some losses, I suppose. Also recruiting the German mortar, well done, and that's something the German players should have done. Sadly they didn't. And the Stalin organ fires away as well.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory. They've opened up on us.
Penal troops rushing up. And I do believe it's time to pop back to Sharkattack. It's also time for the mid-game analysis. Now then, the current situation is rather the Germans are slightly behind in terms of territory. They're also slightly behind in terms of units, and so it's really been able to lay down a lot of firepower. And of course now they're building up a serious unified front with 2 Su-35s, lots of mortars which are really taking a toll on the Germans, and of course plenty of infantry. Now of course the Germans have some of these things as well, but of course it's not without its own issues. Currently I mean, considering the overall situation, the Germans should build up for a 2-pronged armoured assault. And one of them should very much definitely come from up here. But there's going to be very little chance of the Soviet to spy them until it's too late. They could get first this coH2 and then of course hit the Su-35s in the rear. But of course that's only one part of the assault. The second one should then come from either straight through the village, while the 2 Su-35s are sort of slowly turning about, or while it's all happening, or it should come from around here. What certainly shouldn't be happening is both of them just basically try to rush through here, because they're simply going to get bogged down with the infantry while the 2 Su-35s fire away. They need to take advantage of the fact that these two are without turrets, and of course means taking them from a flank, forcing them to turn around, and then of course taking them from another part with a second assault. That could work out, and would certainly think that the German player here, Sharkattack, would be the one most suited for here, since he's got most of the armor. He just needs to repair, but there he's lacking in pioneers, and he's in fact floating a ridiculous amount of manpower, so he should easily quickly train some pioneers, perhaps get up a munitions cast to support further ability usage. And he might also just consider setting a Pak 43 around here to sort of support further against the Su-35s. I think that would actually work out quite nicely either way. Quickly get those Panzerforce repairs and support with the command tank, I think, as well. Then launch in the assault here. And then the other gentleman, Mr. Wespa, with a Panther, perhaps a second one, or I think even better, Sturmpanzer to help deal with all the infantry, would then lead the assault from here. That way, they would be able to catch the entire Soviet force in this sort of spot here, and probably able to do a lot of damage and probably win the fight. But the question is, will they actually do that, or will their tactical acumen end up failing them? For the Soviet players, they are in a bit of sort of sticky position. On one hand, they look sort of strong because again they've got a strong unified front. On the other hand, their flanks are extremely weak, and the sort of force they have is extremely weak towards being flanked with. So again, they need to cover up the flanks with some mines. They've got some mines here and there, which is great, but they need to cover the flanks, and again, they might also want to consider getting some actual tanks, because the Su-35s again will be presented with some weaknesses. Otherwise, I mean, there's not really much to say. Again, it's pretty much straightforward here what the Soviets are planning, what they're going to do, what their weaknesses are, and of course what they could do to rectify. And otherwise, I mean, they should just keep at it. Otherwise, in particular, if the Germans just keep feeding the Su-35s and their infantry. So, let us return to the fight. And again, the Soviets now have 3 mortars. Again, not really good. And now we're seeing a howitzer going up. Just as I'm finished, they're setting up a howitzer. I mean, this is going to get really painful for the Germans. They need to retreat their infantry. They really shouldn't be sending in on its own without any support. And that mortar half-track is going to get gone. And there we go. Mortar getting Molotov as well. Su-35s rolling up. This is getting really bad, and we're also going to be seeing a lot of artillery in this fight then. There we go, rockets flying. Germans getting further pushed back. Panther 4 should hold back until the other one's ready as well. Hold back. Also noting here that Sharkattack has taken up to tier 4 as well. Su-35's rolling up. Panther 4 needs to get out of there. Popping smoke. Good, good, good. Other one moving up. And there you go, the howitzer is firing away. Another coH2 rolls up. And the fuel cache went down. Panther 4 being sent in though without being fully repaired. That's not really good. Same with the Panther. German players are getting a bit desperate here. Need to be careful. And there we go. Su-35 opens up, but seems like it misses. And there we go. Panther 4 dead. It should not have gone in like that. It should not, but it did. Pak 43 going up. Able to cover most of the village, but again, I think over here would have been better. A bit closer to the village. Would have been able to cover more and even cover about this area. I think that would really have helped out the German players. Either way, the priority should probably be to take out some of that artillery. Otherwise, the Pak 43 is going to get wiped out. Railway artillery is open. Need some munitions for that, though.
Our position
And the MD-42 needs to get out of there. Get out of there. Rückzug. Raus. Panzer IV not getting repaired, really. And had Sharkattack now gone for assault support, he could have been able to call in a Tiger right now, or more or less. Another Panther arriving for Wespa. First one also almost ready, fully repaired. H-85 here heavily damaged. A bit of still providing a bit of an obstacle. Aerial reconnaissance. Which means, I hope he has something in terms of a fragmentation bombing run, because he could wipe out this howitzer or even take out this position. But again, lots of Soviet mortars. Panthers are advancing, but again, straight ahead. There's no flanking assault, no support either. No support either from Sharkattack. Instead, what we're seeing is marked vehicles being applied. He's shifting targets with the Panthers. Just focus down one at a time. Veteran 285 Marine Grenadiers following up. Focus. No hocus pocus here. Ach du lieber, if only Sharkattack can actually coordinate with this assault, they might have had a chance. Instead, the Panthers are forced to pull back, and one of the H-85s is now veteran T2. Lots of infantry losses as well. A missed opportunity here, to say the least. Grenadiers moving up here to hit the flank without any serious support. And at the same time, Ya is pulling up an infantry flank assault as well. Might even be going straight for the Pack 43. And there we go, Molotov on the Pack 43 crew, burning them alive. And another heavy Panzer Corps up, this time providing a Panzer for Ostwind Flak Panzer also now arriving for Sharkattack. Not entirely sure, I think a Flak Panzer is needed right now. I mean, he could also have gone for the Sturm Panzer IV, which would have been more directly effective against infantry, could also be used against the H-85s. There's a time for everything. And I think now this requires something a bit heavier than a Flak Panzer. Just putting it mildly. And a Sturmpanzer from a Sturmpanzerabteilung would have been good. Since the Sturmpanzers were usually organized into that independent assault tank battalions, a bit like the Tigers and heavy tank destroyers. Railway artillery now up. This would certainly be a good time if they actually communicated for once themselves, you know, hey, you could call in some air reconnaissance and I could call this in on the enemy's artillery. That might make things easier for us, you know. But apparently that's not happening. Panthers are getting repaired. And looks like Sharkattack is now getting ready, but now he's making an assault on his own with considerably less well-armored forces. This is not promising. Not promising at all. More H-85s, more Katyushas. Also getting back this territory, of course. Still rather feeling there's a lack of bunkers or anything to cover the German players' flanks. This is not really inspiring either. In that sense, that rather does seem to be one of the German players' main faults. That and apparently not quite fully coordinating. And also, in perhaps in some senses, lacking a bit of tactical flair. Katyusha setting up, but that's awfully close to the front line as well, and right in front of the enemy. What are you thinking, Sharkattack? What are you thinking? At least just fire the bloody thing. Instead, what's happening is they're already getting bombarded. And there we go, Panzerwerfer is down. He didn't even get to fire it, that was just pointless. Not really looking good at the moment. German players are all of a sudden wasting a lot of opportunities, a lot of chances. They're all of a sudden acting a lot more messily than they previously did. which is rather opening up for the Soviets to make some good gains. And now all of a sudden, Wespa is spamming Panzer Grenadiers. Why not go for another Panther, or perhaps a Sturm Panzer IV? Again, you know, something a bit more armor, a bit more vicious, something that's not going to drown in all the artillery the enemy has. Because that's currently one really worrying thing, all the artillery there is. And the Sturm Panzer IV will be able to sort of cleave a way through the infantry, even help against the armor. So I rather feel like Wespa here is compounding his own sins. I mean, I know it's some infantry scout, but even then I think he's going a bit too heavy on it right now, when there are more pressing matters. Or, you know, he might also try for a Tiger tank at some stage. That could also help against the infantry, and would also been able to soak up some fire. But they need to be quick about it, as the Soviet players are getting more and more Su-85s. Panthers rolling back, not fully repaired though. And again, what's happening now is, whereas the Soviet players are, you know, working coordinated, the German players are now swinging singularly, allowing both Soviet players to then focus down one player, German player at a time. Again, there's clearly some problems with the teamwork here at play. And that is, you know, what matters in a 2 versus 2, for that matter, any other kind of team game. That is, you know, team play. So while the Soviet players, in some sense, in terms of tactics, are probably a lot more rough in it, on the other hand, their teamwork does say more about them, and in that sense, the German players, while more, in some regards, tactically strong, though, are losing in terms of team play, and perhaps, you know, also missing up some of the more greater tactical play. I mean, they'd really need to be seriously tactical to make up for it. And why are they flying their railroad artillery straight here? Why not at the more, you know, pressing targets that can't move? That's really a huge missed opportunity. Now the Panthers rushing straight into the railroad artillery's line of fire. Calling in a fragmentation bombing run. They're calling in all of the support at the wrong spots. This is not really working out. This is a poor decision. One Su-85 did go down, but at what cost? But at what cost? I mean, they expended that much munitions just to get one Su-85. And now Pack 43's up here, but again, had they called in on the artillery first, it might not end up dying, because now the Soviets are counter-artillerying. I mean, this is really a mess out of proportions. And so while this was actually a pretty damn clever idea, certainly the problem was it really hadn't taken account into a lot of things. And again, had they just focused down the howitzer first, it would have been workable. It would have been workable. But instead, again, they decided to throw all the munitions at one Su-85. It really seems like the 2 German players are utterly losing it. They're getting desperate, and they're not thinking straight. They have lost their cool, so to say. I mean, it's not like, you know, they're fully losing map control, but all of a sudden they're just throwing everything in but the kitchen sink. And they're not talking together. At least I don't get the impression they are. And now getting a Tiger, I feel that's a bit late as well. Should have been earlier up then. Instead now there are too many Su-85s, I think. With too much veterancy for that matter. Panther getting repaired, lots of artillery hammering the centre. Soviet troops moving south. Panther getting repaired. Panzer IV getting repaired, actually pretty close to veterancy too. It looks like the Soviets are pretty secure now, and they are launching now fresh assaults to hit the flank of the Germans. Going to confuse things up a bit there as well. Nice aggressive play. And an airstrike. Could be reconnaissance, I suppose. Yes, indeed, but will there be anything to deal with the artillery? I think not. And there we go, marked vehicle, good usage of the ability. On the Tiger tank, well done. Ignoring the H-85 on the flank, though, perhaps not the best idea, but at least now they just have to keep it up, keep moving, don't stop. For heaven's sake, don't stop during an assault. When you're making it on H-85s, just keep moving, man. But instead, that's just what happened. They stopped up. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now another Panther's rushing in, but again, with little support, with little coordination. Tanks are just losing it everywhere. Immediately losing whatever concentrated attack power there was. Not really looking good. Veterans are free here on this H-85. Panther just needs to keep moving. It should have been moving frontal ahead. Tiger here almost down. Panther's down. Panzer IV moving up here. Lovely, lovely, but again rather feels too little too late. There we go, Katyusha burned up.
Another vehicle has been lost in the defense of the Rodina.
One cooked up. Popping smoke, very close to veterans to free that Panther. And Ostwind here, but not even probably covering the victory point. Rather brutal armoured battle, but ultimately did not work out for the Germans. Ultimately, at the vital moment, they broke down their armoured spearhead. And that rather allowed the Soviets to actually concentrate each one tank down. And there we go, the Panther went down as well. Ultimately, quite the shame. And there we go. Game over. Only 34 minutes, but even then, a lot of things happening in this match. So it's displaying some good... Germans, both players, in fact, displaying some good initial play. Some interesting things. A few mistakes from the Germans, though, initially, with their machine guns. Not really good, not really good. Again, you have to be careful with that. But then later on, they really got into things. Scout cars, tanks, and all that. But then, you know, when the CH-85s really came in again, they faltered. And more importantly, their team play faltered. They lacked all of a sudden all cohesion, all, you know, working together, and the abilities just, you know, being wasted on that H-85. That really was absolutely sad to see. Howards got forgotten. This part of the flank, you know, was also forgotten, and for that matter, they also pretty much forgot about this map. And you know, the problem was, you know, they never secured their own flanks. They never set up machine guns, never mines, never anything to make it harder for the Soviets to set up there. And the Soviets took good advantage of that, and that was good. The Soviets, on the other hand, good coordination and certainly also some good tactical play. The Germans certainly made more better use of abilities overall. But they couldn't work together, and apparently they lacked a bit of that tactical flair. So in that sense, they rather made some problems for themselves. And ultimately, again, that thing came, you know, when push came to shove, they ran in every direction. But the enemies, or well, at least the one that was, you know, the most sensible. I mean, had they at least made one coordinated attack at the same time, there might have been a better chance, but that never really came. Instead, Panzer Force and Panthers were wasted. Time and time again. So again, you know, it's not just having the units that matter. For example, during a team game, it's also how you use them and how you use them with your team mate. Also how you use the abilities, because again, Soviets made use of the marked vehicle ability, and that definitely helped them out a great bit. Allowed them to quickly take out, you know, potential targets in the form of the Tiger, and you know, Panthers and Panzer IVs, again, good usage of it there as well. Had the Germans, on the other hand, coordinated better, or even flanked, you know, better, they would have won this. Instead, they didn't, and the Soviet Union prevailed. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned a thing or two from it. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends. If you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? Provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane, saying cheers.